was very happy when I got this invitation. Of course, it's always nice to connect with Lisa, but thinking that I get to meet the whole Los Angeles family brought up very sweet memories from when I was there so long ago. And Gita Ben, you received me with so much love and so much support. So I have very good feelings about Los Angeles. And of course, with this lockdown, it's really a chance to finally understand this technology and finally begin to use it, because it was created for us, wasn't it? So it's all very, very good.
True.
So this is a Murli on the bodyless stage. How many of you had a chance to read it? Do you usually have a chance to read these Murlis that you're reviewing?
Yes.
Everyone have a chance, yeah.
That's really great. And it's a very good program to think that you do this kind of review together, everyone. It's very inspiring. It made me think I also wanted to do it here. Of course, we have different Zoom programs going on, but this is also a very nice idea. So 2 questions to start with. First one is, can you think of 2 sanskars which have been very challenging for you, but as you look at yourself objectively, you can see that those 2 sanskars have changed. Maybe they're 2 sanskars from a long time ago, and you've noticed for a long time that they're gone, or they've transformed, or maybe it's something more recent. But identify 2 such sanskars in yourself which you never really approved of, and they have changed. You're not going to talk about them. It's just for you to note. Because I did get permission from Sister Lisa to do this as a little bit of a workshop rather than just a class. So work. We have to work in a workshop. And so while you're thinking about that, in case you've already finished, I'll give the second question. Also, if you can identify one particular sanskara that is not changing, you have come to understand that this is a challenge in your character, and you would have been in and out of phases of trying to confront it, face it. But when all is said and done, you see that it's not changing. See if you can identify one sanskar like that. And if there are more than one, choose the one which is the most stubborn.
First one, why always me?
Okay, you're not sharing this. It's just personal, and you're making a note of it. And one more question, actually. Not so much a question, but a little bit of reflection. If you can think of your favorite hero figure. So this could be a living hero. It could be a cartoon character hero. It could be somebody from now, somebody from the past, somebody from history. Identify who for you is a hero figure. I'm not talking about Baba or Brahma Baba. It has to be from the outside world. And why? See if you can identify the 1 or 2 sanskaras or personality traits in your hero figure, which is what makes that person a hero for you. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So a few minutes of silence just to reflect. Your favorite hero and one or two qualities about that hero which make that person a hero for you. Do you need another minute or are we ready?
Please respond.
I'm assuming they need another minute if they haven't responded. Still need another minute or are you okay?
Yeah, I think we are done.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I do think we have time to hear from one or two people in terms of the success story, a sanskar that has changed in you. Would anybody like to share? We can listen to one or two. Anybody like to share?
Divya?
The change in you to
Divya?
be myself, to be in myself.
So you've been able to come into yourself, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So that's a change sanskar, very nice, thank you. Who else? You would just need to say your name first and then share.
Om Shanti, sister.
That
This
time
is
you can
Divya.
open your video so she can see you.
Om Shanti, sister. This is Divya. I had this sanskar of saying yes to everybody, doesn't matter who it is, and that would get me into trouble a lot of times. But over the period of time, I worked on it. I confided in Baba that, look, I mean, it was my own fault, but I would be instant in saying yes.
And so it changed.
Yeah, over a period of time, it has changed.
Very
The
good.
power of judgment
Congratulations.
has come in. Yeah,
Very good. Discerning, judging, very good. One more person?
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. One more?
Om Shanti. Sharona Ben, I just wanted to share that I had a lot
Who
of
is it?
feelings.
Can I have a name?
You can open your video, please, so she can see.
I'm not able to,
It's okay. Just a name is all right.
yeah, I'm not able to open the video for some reason.
It's all right.
Okay.
Just a name?
So my name is Sister Shubhra from Ohio.
Hello.
And I just wanted to say that I used to get feeling for everything which people used to say. And I have, after coming to Baba, become feeling proof, which is like in a good way. Not everything goes to heart every single time, which is very beautiful, I think.
It is beautiful. This is a special weakness of sisters. Soft heart. Very good. Thank you. And now looking at the hero, going to the hero, would anybody like to share their special hero and why? What are the one or two characteristics?
Hi, this is Sister Elizabeth from San Diego, California. And I have so many heroes. The first of all is Baba. And second is Brahma Baba.
Okay, we're looking for a hero which is out of the alokik world, from the world of cartoons or life.
That's what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And then one of my heroes is Gita Ben from LA. Because she saved me for a lot of things.
Give me
If
two
I need a-
qualities. Give me
Yeah.
two qualities.
The first one is her Bhavna gave me Bhavna to me.
Yeah.
How understand everyone, gave to everyone whatever they need at the time, at the place, at the moment.
And the second quality?
Her love.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you,
Anybody
Sister
else?
Sharona.
Anybody else?
Om Shanti. Sister, we have two students here from Ohio. One is saying that old sanskar, rigid sanskars change to flexibility. And the second one said that I have stopped self-visit, stopped victimizing thoughts.
The hero. What about the hero? We're on the hero.
The hero
Anybody
part.
share
We are
a
on the
hero?
hero.
Yeah.
Yes, can I
For
share?
me,
Yes. Would somebody like to share?
Yes, please. This is Sudhaben. My hero was my uncle, my youngest, my father's youngest brother. He got sick and he tried on his own all the way through diet and simplicity, and he lived his life till the age of 100 like that. And he was my hero. He lived very simple life, and he proved to the family that you can conquer your diseases. So
Very
he is my
nice.
hero, and we are all following that kind of diet. Simplicity means we try to be like him.
That's the benefit of having a hero in your life. Okay. So thank you very much. And I'd like to move forward with this. Now, why did I ask these questions? As we move through the material of today's Murli, or this Murli that I chose for the workshop, I hope it'll become clear why I asked you these questions to start with. Because ultimately, what was this Murli about? We could say it was about the bodyless stage, which is a stage of such power. Baba defined 3 stages: the effort making stage, in which there's also intense effort makers, different from effort making, and then those who experience liberation in life as a result of their efforts, but then those who are just like naturally in that stage of liberation in life, no more efforts, no more efforts. There's a very elevated stage, what he calls the bodyless stage. Liberated in life. And he also said very interesting things about this. We would have thought that liberated in life was for the golden age. Liberation is the soul world. But Baba also says in this Murli, you can't experience these 2 states in the golden age or in the soul world, because it'll be so natural. It won't be a conscious experience. He was saying that it has to be experienced now in order to be able to live it naturally in the golden age. So that's a very elevated state. Here, now, as Baba was saying, while everything all around me, double trouble from the environment, from the situations, from relationships, it's all going to be in front of me. But in the bodiless stage, I will not be influenced. I will not be affected. Correct? This is what Baba was saying about the ultimate stage. This has to happen by the end. Correct? Does anybody have a comment about that? Is it correct?
Yes.
Very strong Murli. These are the old Murlis. I think it's like 1977, correct? No, it came up again in 1998, but I think it was also earlier than that. Not sure, not sure. Anyway, it's strong. Either we can say strong or we can say inspiring, but here it is. And so we're clear that actually when Baba's talking about the liberated, when he's talking about liberation in life, he's talking about the liberated stage in life now. And we see other words for that. Other words for that could be being a Raj yogi, being a self-sovereign, absolutely not influenced, unshakable, immovable, detached observer. It also could be, as a synonym for liberated in life, could be sitting on my seat of self-respect. So we understand it. We understand it. What the real challenge is, if we're honest, is how to move towards that. How to move from just being an effort maker to an intense effort maker, or from an intense effort maker into someone already tasting that liberated in life stage, but as a result of a struggle, as a result of battling and effort making. How do we move forward into that stage where it's my natural nature here now? And we saw that in the dadis, so we know it's possible. That's the real issue, isn't it? And I have come to feel that there are 4 pillars, or you could say 4 aspects that create a framework for the work we need to do so we can reach that stage sooner rather than later. 4 pillars or 4 aspects which create a framework for the work we need to do. Any ideas what might be one of those pillars? Would anybody like to share?
Purity.
Purity, yes.
Pure food.
Pure food, that's very practical because you see, purity for sure. These are the recipes, but then let's be very practical. How does purity break down so that I can really progress in those pure feelings, good wishes, that they have that strength so they're never influenced? Pure food will help. Anyone else?
Witnessing consciousness.
Weakness in consciousness?
Company.
No, witnessing consciousness.
Witness
As a
consciousness.
detached observer.
Detached observer, witness consciousness. It's so true. Step back, yes.
The everyday, the company.
Company of Baba. But again, that's the formula. Remember me alone. But you know, what are we going to work with to really be able to increase our chart of remembrance, basically, because that's the challenge.
To
We need
be
consistency.
self-conscious,
Say that again.
to be self-conscious all the time.
Soul conscious all the time. But again, that's the formula. Consider yourself a soul and remember me. But what can help us practically? 4 pillars which can help us.
Consistency.
Consistency, my efforts. Chart can help me with that. Yes, it's true.
It can help yoga, knowledge, sadhana.
Yes.
Silent stage.
Silent stage are 3 subjects. But again, that's the formula. All 4 subjects, silence. But practically speaking, what can be a springboard into increased capacity, because those are very elevated things, hard to jump from where we are straight into that.
Introspection.
Introspection, definitely.
Daily
Accepting the
spiritual
things.
study,
Spiritual study, for sure. Someone else?
daily meditation,
What?
daily meditation.
Daily meditation. Someone else was saying something?
Bodyless stage.
Bodyless stage. That's what the whole Murli is about, and that's what we're talking about. Very high stage. What are 4 pillars which are going to create a very powerful framework for all my efforts?
Accepting the things.
Accepting the things. I thought I heard that before. This is very powerful. Okay, I want to share with you and somebody needs to put themselves on mute. Yeah, thank you. So, 4 pillars, you can see how you feel about this. The first one is an aspect of soul consciousness, but very practical. To remember and keep reminding myself that my original state of being is one of peace and love and happiness. To keep myself in the awareness that no matter what I'm like now or what I was like just this moment, originally the state is peace, happiness, and love. That's one pillar. To remember my eternal and original form. Second pillar, to remember that I always have a choice. We human beings, a special kind of intellect, we have the power of choice. No matter how much I'm being ruled by a habit, my special power, especially powerful in a human, is that I can choose an alternative. Third pillar. See, these are very practical and they're actually quite basic, but are we working with them? Because I'm suggesting this is the thing to do when your self-sovereignty is challenged. These are things to remember and to do when your power to stay absolutely uninfluenced in the bodiless stage is being challenged, either from outside or inside. Something's coming up in you. So first is to remember your original form. Originally, you are very loving, peaceful, and happy. Secondly, a human being has the power of choice. A Brahmin has even a greater power of choice because the intellect has been opened. Third, I can change. Can. This awareness might seem obvious, but my experience is that there's benefit in reminding myself that I can change. And that's the purpose of the first reflection question. We looked at 2 sanskars and saw that even hard, difficult sanskars were melted. They did change. I can change. I can't say I can't change. This is my nature. I'm not going to change this. It just is impossible. It's the way I am. No. Originally, choice, and I can. This thought, I can, I feel it's like the basis of our transformation power. If I stand on that point and I'm accountable to it. So these are 3 pillars. I'm going to get to the 4th in a moment, but essentially these three point to one very powerful foundation. These three I need to remind myself of again and again because they prove to me one thing. They prove to me one thing, and I need to have this thing proven. I need to believe it. I need to accept it. What is that one thing? You follow me?
I have everything. I'm complete.
I have everything. I am complete. Yes. Anyone else?
I
Healthy,
have all
wealthy,
the Father's
happy.
powers with me.
I have all the Father's powers with me. And
All
who
the
else spoke?
treasures.
All the treasures. Who else spoke?
Healthy, wealthy, and happy everything.
Yes, yes.
So these
Yes.
three things to me will prove that if I'm suffering, then I'm accountable for that.
Yes. In other words, to make long stories very short, because if we're looking for tools to really make myself liberated in life here, now, in the confluence age, very powerful, not influenced. We need very practical tools to work with. And in short, what those three prove to me is that I am good. I'm good. For all the reasons you mentioned, everything of the Father's is mine. I'm full of all treasures, all the things that you just mentioned. I am so good. And why is there so much power in that? It's because we know that whatever is stopping me from enjoying the bodiless stage, in other words, whatever old sanskara is there, which isn't changing, and it's stopping me from being able to be detached and wise and powerful. Whatever is that sanskar, it is a bondage. These are examples of bondages that he spoke about. Brahmins don't have the thick ropes of bondages anymore. He was saying they have subtle threads. They're very royal bondages, but they're bondages. Old sanskars. You know, a bondage means you're tied, like a dog. When you tie a dog, he's not free. He can't move. He can't move forward. So now as we reach the end of the cycle and we're all old, experienced Brahmins, we're seeing these last few subtle threads, they're killing us. They're sabotaging our own best efforts. And so what's the connection between that and being good? And this accepting and knowing and reminding myself again and again, I'm good. It's this. Two things. If you look deeply at the root of that one sanskar that we looked at the beginning of this exercise, that one sanskar which isn't changing, that one sanskar which keeps sabotaging your efforts, that one sanskar, maybe with others, that are stopping you from being liberated in life. If you look really deeply, what triggers that sanskar and what sustains that sanskar is my need to know myself as right. My need to know myself as good, or maybe to convince someone else that I'm right, that I'm good, or maybe to prove to myself or others that I'm right and I'm good. A lot of energy on a very subtle level is spent in this. And the negativity, the stubbornness, the arrogance, the fears, the doubts, if you think about it, it's very connected to my insecurity about my value, the value of my contribution, the value of my part, and the degree of my goodness. So instead of going into all of those dialogues in the head and the mental confrontations, either to your own self or to others, trying to know yourself as good, just take the shortcut. Just take the shortcut. And the next time that sanskar comes up, just cut to the quick and bring this thought to the mind. I am good. No, I'm good. I am good. I don't need to argue. I don't need to defend. I don't need to prove. I don't need to anything. I'm good. And believe me, once we start remembering how good I am, it becomes very easy to look at the other beyond their sanskars and remember that they are also good. There's one more reason why it's so important to know how good I am and to believe in this as a tool, as a weapon against all these old sanskars which aren't changing. I want to share one more thing and then we can open it up just to see if there are any questions and if everyone's clear so far on what I've said. So the one last aspect, why is it so important to know how good I am, to prove to myself how good I am? It's because of something Baba said in a Murli about 5 months ago, 4 months ago, quite a long time ago, but it caught my attention. It caught my attention so much, I put it on my cupboard. I see it every morning. Baba said, there is one awareness which, if you maintain that awareness, it will cut all bondages like a scissors. One awareness, if you maintain it, it will cut all bondages like a scissors. No
Loving awareness.
Loving awareness. Anybody else remembering that, Murli? What did he say? What's that awareness? It's a very important point. So Baba said, huh?
Baba says, I am with you.
I can't hear, sorry?
Baba says, I am with you.
I'm with you, which is true.
I'm a soul.
I'm a soul. But what does that mean? What does it mean that God himself is with me directly? He's not with my brother or sister, physical. He's not with my neighbor. I'm a very special soul. I actually am combined with God. What does it mean to be soul conscious? So what
Master
Baba
Almighty Authority.
Master Almighty Authority, but what does that mean? So Baba was saying, get this. He was saying, here it is. Here's the one, awareness. If you maintain this awareness, all your bondages will be cut like a scissors. And so what's the awareness? I am good. That's it. I am good. The Father is good. And the drama is good.
Everything is good.
But where are we most challenged with this point? We read this point and we know the years it took to prove to ourselves that the drama is good. And when we finally learned that, we understood it, we believed it through experience, and we accepted it for our life. It became clear, yes, the drama is good. Same for Baba. Most would be ready to believe that God is good, but there would be also many who on very subtle levels would have had expectations of God for many lifetimes which weren't met. On some subtle levels, there could have been some other feelings, but As Brahmins, we did prove to ourselves that God is good, and we saw the power in that. Have we realized how the most important thing to consider good is not drama? It's not even God. That came third and second in Baba's formula. The first one is I am good. And that's where we still need to put attention. I'm good. This is my self-respect. This is the ticket to self-sovereignty. And I'm not talking about the kind of, you think you're good and you're not so good, like he was mentioning, but I'm talking about the truth of who I am. What does it mean to be a soul? It doesn't mean that I'm a form of a point and there's light in that point. It's not just that. That's just a first step. It's see all the divine qualities in there. And then see what is my part. If you ever really got into spinning that cycle of self-realization, all 5 forms are the hero part. I introduce purity back into the drama against such heavy, heavy impurity all around, but I do it. And I live it in the golden age, setting a standard for what is good and right for the whole rest of the cycle, for the whole of humanity. As an angel, in my angel form, I'm sharing purity, happiness, love, vibrationally with all the brothers and sisters of humanity, the whole world. And in the copper and iron age, especially in the copper age, they remember purity. They remember goodness. Thanks to the way I served as an angel in the cycle before. They build statues. I build statues, remembering that highest standard and how good is good. And I didn't want to forget. So I built those statues and I worshiped those statues so that I could maintain those high standards myself. And in the Brahmin form, I'm taking power from God and recharging my purity, my love, my peace for the benefit of the whole of humanity, to get the whole cycle going again. I am a hero. I'm so good. And this is why we did in the very beginning of this exercise, this question, who is your hero? And what are the qualities in that? Because now, take a good look at that hero that you chose. Take a good look at those 2 qualities that you chose. It is for sure. It is for certain. I've played this game with hundreds of people and there's never been an exception to this. You chose that hero. You note those 2 qualities because those 2 qualities are in you. You love those qualities. You aspire to those qualities yourself because they're in you in a very active form, not so merged or buried. Check the hero that you chose at the beginning of this exercise. Like, for example, I can tell you, one person was saying she chose as her hero, it was a cartoon character, my favorite genie, a TV program that used to be on television decades ago. But the hero was a genie, a genie, like rub the lamp and the genie appears. But she was such a good genie and she corrected all the difficult situations and did such nice things for everyone. And as I know this sister, that's how she is. She loves the things of the magical, the fairyland aspect of our miracle life. And she's always intoxicated because she's so connected to that. Somebody else once said Charlie Chaplin. Why? Because he was always able to bring humor. Even during World War II, he could bring humor to a situation, stay light, understand the importance of humor and lightness. And I know that brother. He also has that same kind of lightness, and humor is important, especially as things get serious and hard. So think of your hero. Why did you choose that hero? And underline again for yourself. You're so good. The part you play as a Brahmin. I remember Sister Mohini saying really decades ago, she said, just to be part of this Brahmin family is to be playing the most important part in the whole drama. So have I understood how valuable I am to God, how valuable I am to the whole of humanity, how good I am, how valuable is my part. So before I continue with the fourth and last pillar, because we only looked at three, which I was saying contribute to convincing myself and really activating the awareness of my goodness, I'm saying that that's a practical tool to work with next time your old stubborn sanskara comes up. Is there anybody who has anything they want to ask or say before I conclude with the fourth pillar? Because it's a lot of talking I've done.
Sister, I want to know, the self-sovereignty is a challenge. Can you explain about that?
That self-sovereignty is what?
Self-sovereignty is a challenge, you said.
Yeah. If we see self-sovereignty is another word for liberated in life stage, then we can see that we're not yet there. So it's a challenge. We're not yet self-sovereign. We're still affected. We're still influenced by the negativity in people around us, the negative situations, and the negativity in me. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, sister, I have a question. When we say, or when I say, I am good, doesn't it sometimes, or at least sometimes it happens to me, like I get carried away and then I have that little ego things comes in my mind, like, yes, I am good. So
Yeah, sure.
how
It's
do
a,
you come down with that,
It's a very fine line. I'm good only because Baba is making me good. Brahmins, a synonym for soul consciousness is self-respect and humility. Brahmins can't take credit for their goodness. Whatever is enabling me to play my part is thanks to Baba. My goodness, if there wouldn't be Baba, or if Baba would give up on me, could I play my part? Could I even know what my part is? So it's a very fine and subtle line. And also, it's not like I'm saying this to anyone. And also, I'm specifically using it as a weapon next time that stubborn sanskar comes up. Because of how I was saying, a lot of times those sanskars are so stubborn because I am not confident about my value, my goodness, the value of goodness, the value of someone putting forward goodness. Goodness means those original sanskars, peace, love, happiness. That every time that sanskar, old negative sanskar, is active in me, I sustain it because I'm fighting it, I'm battling it, trying to figure out, how to act or how to be in the right way. And it's very subtle, but as an experiment, I'm suggesting try it, just to take the shortcut and put into your mind, next time that stubborn sanskar comes up, wait a minute, I'm good, I'm very good. And review the 3 pillars. Review all the things we've said about how goodness and believing and accepting that cuts bondages like a scissors, starting with I am good. Review those things and see what starts happening to that old stubborn sanskar. Because personally, I can say from my own experience, I have never seen as much transformation in my own stubborn sanskars as I have seen since I started working with this shortcut. Starting with Baba's Murli, the way he was saying, this will cut the bondages, but we have to believe it. Means believe it without the ego. We have to accept the truth of who we really are and our part, as per all thanks to Baba. Anyone else? Yeah, brother, does that help?
Yes, sister, it does make sense, but it's just one of those things. Sometimes you just have that thought and then, yeah, I'm good. Or, you are trying to be a little bit in your mind or thing like a little bit superior to.
This is not that. This is the goodness of purity. Yeah. Okay, so I'm watching the time, and so I will just give you the 4th pillar. See, first pillar is originally I am love, peace, happiness. That's the original makeup. And I'm devoting my whole life to restoring that, clearing out everything, coming back to that. I'm one of the few people on the planet who really understand this and know it. Second pillar is, as all human beings, there is a power called choice. Nobody can ever say, he made me do it, I can't help myself, this is just the way I'm. The power of choice is a human phenomena, even in some more advanced animals, but especially for Brahmins. If I'm aware of it and I use it, it's very powerful. Third is this awareness. Again, I'm using these next time this stubborn sanskar comes up. I'm remembering I have a choice, and I'm remembering that I can change. No reason for this sanskar to come out right now. I don't want it, and originally it's not part of me. It doesn't belong to me. I do have a choice here, and this is what I choose. I can change. I've proved that to myself in the first part of this exercise. All of these things show how good I am. So it's not that I don't have the power to transform that sanskara. Think of that stubborn sanskara. It's not that I don't have the power to change that sanskara. I do. I have it. I have everything I need to change that sanskara. So why isn't it changing? This is the fourth pillar. Any ideas? What's the one thing missing from the equation?
Lack of determination.
Determination, yes, that's a good one. And that's based on what?
To stay in Baba's remembrance.
Staying in Baba's remembrance, which is a result of what?
Effort.
Effort.
It's all body
All the
consciousness.
time. Mhm.
Body consciousness, soul consciousness. What, I missed something? Okay, so again, like the first three, this is very basic, very simple, but have I really accepted? Have I really believed and taken it for my life? We have to look at how much do I want to change that sanskar? Very subtle. I would say it's also an absolute basis for transformation. I have to get so clear about the harm that sanskar is doing, not just to the part that I've taken this life to play, not just to
Let
Baba's
go.
task. This is what I'm sharing. Want. How much do I want to change that sanskar? The harm that it's doing to myself, my ability to play this part, the harm it's doing to God's task, the benefit of the alternative to that negative sanskar. So if that negative sanskar, for example, that stubborn sanskar is, I've noticed that I'm very criticizing. I have a very criticizing intellect. I'm always noticing what's wrong in something first. And even if I don't say anything, it's inside. Supposing that's the sanskar that you identify as very stubborn, it's not changing, even over many years of effort. So the alternative, can't I be like more like appreciative? Can't I be more grateful? Where are those sanskars? So we've identified the alternative, and we need to really review the benefit. If I could be more appreciative, if I could notice the good things, how much better I'd be able to play my part. How much better I'd be a contribution, how much more of a contribution my life would be to God's task. How much more useful I could be to God and his task. So like that, looking at the harm of the negative stubborn sanskar, looking at the benefit of an alternative, I need to increase and make more and more deep how much I want to change that sanskar. Because on another level, very subtle, if I'm still stuck with a sanskar that I don't like, I've noticed it's not good, I don't want it anymore, I don't need it anymore, but I can't transform it, it must be that I'm getting something out of it. I have to figure out what it is and let it go, as somebody was saying. Let it go. Against the harm that it's doing, against the benefit if I changed it, if I started practicing the alternative, really, really to understand, I have everything I need, as we were saying. I certainly don't need this old sanskar. And finally, what I would say, two things. It's not so much, I mean, it's one thing to say, how much do I want to change that sanskar? But basically, what we're asking ourselves when we ask that question, we're asking ourselves, how much do I want to play this part? This is where Maya gets us. Many of us say that, Yes, I was looking for God. Yes, I was looking for truth. Yes, I was looking for family, elevated family. Yes, I found God. I found truth. I found elevated family. But as the years went by and we understood what we had signed up for, that this is a school for becoming a self-sovereign in order to save and rescue the whole of the family of humanity. Then we began sometimes to wonder, wait a minute, when did I sign up for this? So deeply, I have to renew again and again. Baba didn't just pick me up from the dustbin by chance. We have a contract. This is something I want as much as he wants. I want the world to end. I want my life to be a contribution to the establishment of a whole new age. I want this. This is what I want. I want to play this part. We have to renew this again and again. It becomes very powerful weapon against those old stubborn sanskars. That sanskar comes up, I find myself with that criticizing attitude, and I'm about to be very negative in front of someone or about a certain situation, even though there's a lot to appreciate, and I should be appreciating it because they've been working hard. They deserve appreciation, not criticism. It's very powerful when I see it coming up to remember my part, to remember that I signed the contract. I want this. I have a choice. I don't need to be ruled by this sanskara anymore. I don't want that sanskara. I want to play this part. I have a choice and I can change right there in that moment. Or just simply shortcut. Wait a minute. I'm good. I'm very good. I don't have to prove I'm good by giving a right way of doing things, correcting, commenting, criticizing, which might be the subtle thing I get out of a criticizing intellect. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good. So let's get on with the part. Om Shanti, these are some of my thoughts on this subject of the bodiless stage, the highest, greatest stage in which I walk this drama like God does, totally uninfluenced, totally unaffected, and able at every moment to give in a way that uplifts and helps everyone remember that they are members of a godly family and that they belong to God. Om Shanti.
Can you
Om
just guide
Shanti.
the meditations at the end?
Om Shanti.
Yeah, you can guide the meditations.
So Sister Gita is asking for a short meditation. I see I've gone over my time actually. So we just take a few minutes of silence. I come into the awareness of my Brahman form. In my Brahman form, there is the awareness of being a soul. I consider myself the soul in this body. In it, but so separate from it. And considering myself to be a soul is not just the form. See, I'm a direct creation of God. all that God has, He is bestowing, bequeathing to me. Everything that God is, everything that God has, I have and I am. I play a hero part. This is who I am. This is soul consciousness. And in this awareness, it's very easy to let go of my costume, physical costume, and put on my costume of light. Find myself in the subtle region in front of Baba, in his costume of light. Such a belonging, such a connectedness. Absolute confirmation that I am very, very good, but that goodness is all thanks to him. And together, from the subtle region, we share these rays of truth, love, purity, peace. To all the brothers and sisters of the world below us. And in this way, again and again, let me nourish the truth, not just of my part, but of me. I am very good. I am a direct creation of God. Shiv Shakti, an angel. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you,
Thank
sister.
you.
Thank you.
Sister
Thank you.
Sharona.
I'm sorry we didn't have enough
Om
time for
Shanti.
questions.
Om Shanti
Best
Gitarin
wishes.
also.
Best wishes. Yes. Best wishes. All best
Thank you,
wishes for
sister. That
all
was great.
success.
Om
Very
Shanti.
good. Very good.
Shanti.
Practice, practice. Experiment. Om
We will.
Shanti.
Shanti. Take care.
Thank you. Same to you, all of you.
Bye, Om Shanti. Hi, Shanti. Om Shanti.